Welcome to Smart Marks, where we're sick as a dog, sound like a frog, but still on the job. If only that rhymed. So there was a story in our local newspaper this past week about how officials in the city of Lancaster backed the installation of red light cameras that actually take pictures of people blowing through red lights willy-nilly. Here comes the ticket in the mail a few weeks later. Right now, Philadelphia is the only city in Pennsylvania that has red light cameras, but a bill pending in the State House would allow third-class cities like Lancaster to install them. And Lancaster Mayor Rick Gray likes this idea because he says Lancaster has a major problem with people blowing red lights. And that is absolutely correct. If you spent any time driving in Lancaster, you've probably learned to hesitate just a moment when your light turns green, just in case. There have been some major accidents and some fatalities because of people running red lights. And so, yeah, sure, maybe the cameras would help make the streets of Lancaster safer. But I got to laugh when Mayor Gray said, this isn't about raising revenue. And I thought, come on. Red light cameras do raise revenue. The city of Philadelphia generated $7.6 million in revenue last year, and while half of that went to the state, half of that stayed right in Philadelphia. And at a time when cities in Pennsylvania and throughout the country are desperate for cash, here's a way to raise it without having to raise taxes. In essence, all you're doing is enforcing the law electronically. Something like this happened to me a couple years ago. I was on the New York State Thruway, blew through a toll booth, was going the wrong way, and thought, man, good thing there's no cops around. A few weeks later, I was outraged when my ticket showed up in the mail with a picture of my license plate and everything. These types of cameras are becoming more common across the country, and they do indeed help raise revenue. The city of Columbus, Ohio last year raised more than $1 million in revenue from red light cameras for the first time. In Suffolk County, New York, officials have talked about doubling the number of red light cameras specifically for the purpose of raising revenue. This is the point, and safety is sort of a side bonus. And while that might make a lot of people outraged, it's not necessarily something I think governments should run from, because government at every level in our society is at the point where it desperately needs creative ways to generate revenue. We know that our Republican friends are opposed to tax increases, and at the local level, property owners are often at or near revolt. So what are you going to do? Lots of states have turned to gambling. Pennsylvania recently surpassed New Jersey as the #2 gaming market in the nation. But gaming is a way by which government actually seems to encourage and sanction vice, whereas red light cameras might be seen as a way of sanctioning virtue. We're trying to get drivers to obey the law, but if they don't, we're going to profit off of it. You do have to be careful, though. There have been some reports of cities who have actually shortened yellow light times in order to generate more revenue because more people were running red lights. And there's always the looming threat of privatization. You don't want to see a camera system installed and then have it privatized. The privatization of infrastructure is something that is happening in this country, something we're going to see a lot more of in the years to come. But for now, this would seem to be a legitimate thing, both for safety and revenue purposes. Let's just not pretend we're not in it for the money.